Hey everyone, it's been a bit of a while since I actually had the time to sit down and make a video, which is kind of sad. It's gearing up for the final year of my thesis in January, so at the moment I am extremely busy. Basically all the time I'm at the library sitting next to that one person that has the throat rattle or the constant sniffing, and oh, it's really irritating. But basically I have to sit in a freezing cold reading room for most of my time. You can probably see my sexy dressing gown, or both sexy dressing gowns on the back of the door there. FYI, mine is the pink and white one, which looks like an oversized version of Bagpuss. Wasn't a colour I would have chosen, but I mean, who cares, no one actually sees me in my dressing gown anyway, and if I wear it I get loads of attention from Kiwi because it's so soft and I'm like a huge human pillow. That was kind of awkward. So today I'm going to do a video which quite a lot of you requested. I mentioned it in my autumn favourites and I'm sorry it's taken me so long to actually get around to doing this. I've been ridiculously busy. And it's going to be my 5 top fragrances for autumn and winter, even though we're kind of in winter a bit now. We're kind of in that in-between stage. I've not quite graduated to winter coat and mittens, but I did think about mittens the other day. Definitely scarf weather and occasionally woolly hat. So I'm going to start because otherwise I'm literally going to talk your back legs off if you are in fact a donkey and you are watching this. If not, I'm just going to talk your regular legs off. I'm really awkward today. You can tell I haven't made a video in a long time because I feel like I'm chattering away like 19 to the dozen about random stuff which absolutely has no bearing or no impact on what I want to say in this video. So we're gonna get started. A lot of people guessed that my first pick for autumn and winter would be Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. This is basically, it's hard to describe the amount of love I have for this fragrance. It's so amazing. It's kind of a masculine fragrance, but I think that androgyny suits me, so I don't really care if I wear it and I smell masculine because I smell, I am happy in the fact that I smell delicious anyway, so I don't care if people think I smell masculine because it smells so delicious that, yeah, bugger off. So, Tobacco Vanille, the notes are vanilla, tonka bean, tobacco, cacao, dried fruit and spices. And for me, when I smell fragrances, it's not really about what it smells like or what it smells like on me. For me, fragrances tend to evoke something, like a picture in my mind. So for Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, I get this idea of like a really cozy den strewn with lots of blankets and a huge roaring fire in the grate, and it's just kind of one of those dark winter evenings and it's really warm and cozy inside, and then somewhere else in the house someone's cooking something delicious like cookies or something like that. It's like spiced cookies, like, you know, really wintry delicious things that you eat at Christmas. So this is just a delicious fragrance to me. It's just really smoky and really sweet, and you need about 1 spray of it and it lasts all the way into the next day and you'll still smell it on yourself the next morning, like this kind of sweet, warm, comforting reminder. It just kind of envelops you in warmth. It's just like wraps itself around you like this extra layer of clothing almost. It's so strong and so recognisable, and it's not really one of those scents that fades into the background. I did hear this described as a gentleman's club kind of scent, and that really does evoke it for me, like warm armchairs and a big fire and the kind of smoky haze of pipes being lit and things like that. It's just a really delicious, smoky, sweet scent. The reason that I've picked this is because as a child, when we lived in my old house, which isn't as good as my new house, parents if you're watching, I still don't like the new house. We had a wood burning stove in the kitchen and the breakfast room, so I'd spend a lot of time happily sitting in front of the fire, and when we got a cat, the cat also spent a lot of time sitting happily in front of the fire, warming our backs and our backside. It just filled the house with this kind of warm bonfire smell, and to this day I always love the smell of bonfire. It's just a really smell to me. I love that kind of smell of wood smoke and smokiness, and it just smells delicious. So for me this kind of evokes a happy Christmas home where we used to light the wood burning stove on cold evenings and sit in front of the fire. It's just one of those childhood things, but it's a really not a childhood smell, it's a very, very grown-up smell. I don't think it's necessarily masculine. I think there's quite a lot of androgyny about this scent due to the sweetness, and both Kiwi and I absolutely love wearing this because, let's face it, it's just amazing. So my next scent, after rambling about Tobacco Vanille, is another Tom Ford scent. This one is a lot less expensive, about 40 quid less expensive, which is still really an expensive scent, but it's kind of what I refer to as Tom Ford's little sister. It's still got that warmth and depth and spicy smokiness, but it's more feminine, and I think that it's easier to wear in any situation, because Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille is quite a heavy scent and it's not always appropriate to wear it because it can get quite cloying. So the next scent I'm going to talk about is Tom Ford Black Orchid. I absolutely adore this. This is quite a recent addition, well, recent in the last year. I got it for Christmas last year from my parents, and it's got notes of jasmine, blackcurrant, vanilla and chocolate. So already it's a bit foodie as well. You can tell that I go for warm, spicy, foodie scents. It's just very comforting and warming and cozy for me this time of year. I love those kinds of scents. So for me this smells like it's heady, it's fruity, it's not got that deepness of Tobacco Vanille. It's still got the depth, but it's not as deep, and it's a bit more sweet and wearable and a bit more musky. It definitely caters for a more feminine side of Tobacco Vanille. I kind of like to wear this on a classy evening out. It just smells expensive and just sexy and warm, and it's just a really, really fantastic winter scent just because of the warmth and the spiciness, but because it has this kind of muskiness to it. I love this because it's got the warmth of Tobacco Vanille and it kind of evokes the same images, but at the same time it gives me this parallel of berries and sweetness. And Tobacco Vanille has sweetness of a different kind. It's very much a sweet, creamy vanilla, but this has got the vanilla, the creaminess of the vanilla, but it's got slight tartness and sweetness of juicy black berries, things like that. So for me, I really like this just because it's a bit more sweet. So we're moving down the line, and it seems an obvious choice for me to talk about Black Excess next by Paco Rabanne. The notes are cranberry, pink peppercorn, black violet, cocoa butter and vanilla, and it's one of those very, very sweet, juicy, kind of ripe fruit scents. It's just really, really sweet, and again it's kind of like Black Orchid but with the warmth and the spiciness removed. So this is just pure sweetness, but kind of pure red berry sweetness. And it's just kind of really sweet and juicy, and it's got that dark sweetness in it, and it just seems appropriate for when the nights are getting darker, and it's kind of a nice bit of cheer for wintry mornings when it's really dark. And I hate getting up on winter mornings when it's dark because the temptation is just to stay in bed because it's warm and happy there. So this is kind of quite uplifting for cold winter days. It's really nice. It doesn't have the depth, because it's quite a lot cheaper, it doesn't have that depth of Black Orchid, but it's still a really lovely fragrance to wear. So the next fragrance I want to talk about is one that I first bought when I was probably about 17. We were going through duty free after a holiday with my parents, and my dad said to my brother and I, do you want to go buy a perfume each? We kind of took him up on that, and I got Angel. And Angel, it's not really one of those fragrances that I wear that much anymore, apart from in winter, because I think it's really heavy, it's really cloying, and it's quite sickly, and it wouldn't be appropriate any warmer than the dead of winter for me. It has to be really cold for me to wear this just because it smells so foody. So the notes are, there's a ridiculous amount of notes. There's dark chocolate, there's caramel, there's jasmine and there's blackberry, and that's just 4 of a really, really long list, longer than I would have time to tell you about here. But when I spray this, I get this hit of a Spanish New World hot chocolate, which sounds really weird, but bear with me because you can tell that I've been reading up about this in my thesis. I've been reading up about the idea of the morality of chocolate, which sounds really weird, but when chocolate was brought to Spain originally, there was a lot of concern about people enjoying this drink, which was really, really delicious, but they didn't think it counted on fast days, but still people were drinking it. And the original hot chocolate was really spicy and had chocolate and spices and warmth in it. So for me, this really, really reminds me of this kind of rich, spicy hot chocolate, of something that I've never even tasted. I get this really, really strong chocolate scent which dries down to a really sweet vanilla, spicy sweet vanilla. And it kind of reminds me of that kind of decadence you get at this time of year, where you tend to let yourself enjoy a few more treats than usual. So this for me is like a hot chocolate with marshmallows and cream in a really cozy steamed up window coffee shop, which sounds really pretentious, but that's the only way I can describe it, because it's really warm and it's really cozy and it just gives you this whack of foodie chocolatiness. Just really a gourmand fragrance. It's really delicious, but I find it quite hard to wear. So the reason that I like it is because it's cozy, foodie, and it has this whack of warmth. So we come to the final fragrance, which is probably going to be a bit of a surprise because it really, really deviates from the other 4 fragrances, and it is Yves Saint Laurent Parisienne. This perfume has notes of violets, rose, peony, vinyl, cranberry and blackberry, and it's just, to me this smells like every single thing that's ever sweet. Like, you know those generic kind of pink flavoured sweets or red flavoured sweets? Just smells like that, just lovely and sweet and feminine. It's very, very feminine. And when I spray this, I get this hit of sugared violets followed by rose and just sweetness. And every time I wear this, I get really complimented. It's just reminds me of Sugar Plum Fairy, just like this kind of idea of sugared fruits and sugared fruits and sugared flowers. It's just reminds me of the Sugar Plum Fairy. It seems only apt to say that. It's very, very light and very pretty and very sweet. So why have I picked it for my top 5 winter autumn fragrances? I feel like there's some kind of brightness, there's this cool crispness about it, which reminds me of like winter mornings, you know, when the grass is all crispy. It feels like that. There's like, it's not too sweet, there is this coolness to it, which really lends itself well for days when I don't feel like smelling like the contents of a spice rack. So for me, there's this brightness, crispness, which makes it really, really appropriate for winter. It cuts through that warmth. So if I don't want to smell like food, then I will definitely go for something very, very sweet like this. So that was all of my 5 winter favourites. I hope it wasn't too predictable. It probably was. You're probably expecting all of these perfumes to be in here, and for that I can only apologise that I am a predictable beast. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you tend to wear perfumes at specific times of the year, let me know what you're wearing right now. I can only tell you that I smell absolutely delicious because I sneaked a spray of Tobacco Vanille, and Q's gonna be super jealous when I go back into the lounge. So yeah, have a great day everybody. I hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, let me know what you're wearing in the least pervy way possible, please.